The popular TikToker Mr. Prada is behind bars in Texas tonight on that warrant out of Baton Rouge.
When I saw a picture of this therapist, I'm not gonna lie, man. I put my bets down on the fact that he did probably assault Mr. Prada. He was maybe potentially killed for molesting Mr. Prada when he was a kid. The guy who was killed, he had a roommate who was a man at 67, which is a bit suspicious, but not illegal or anything like that. Also, they're saying like he has something to do with the whole Catholic religion. We obviously know within the Catholic religion there's a lot of priests and stuff who touch young boys. Now, the gentleman I just showed you at the start of this video, you wouldn't think he would actually go as far to actually do something to earn a mugshot, would you? He looked like he wouldn't really hurt a fly. Well, that young man right there has been accused for murder. Yes, no joke, he's been accused for murder. Not just accused, he's actually been arrested for second-degree murder. Here's an article right here that really gives us a little bit of the breakdown. TikTok influencer Mr. Prada arrested for second-degree murder. Now, this has been all over the place, but just to sum things up really quick, he is accused of killing a therapist. Now, the therapist that he is accused of killing is right here. Now, when I saw a picture of this therapist, I'm not gonna lie, man. I put my bets down on the fact that he did probably assault Mr. Prada, because some people are speculating, because allegedly in 2015, get it right here, in 2015, murdered therapist linked to TikTok star Mr. Prada was previously accused of molesting a different boy in 2015. And what actually is kind of, well, it's not really a coincidence. Some people think it is, some people think it's not. In 2015, the boy he actually sexually assaulted was 11 years old. In 2015, Mr. Prada was 11 years old. So it's almost like it lines up. It seems like the guy that actually was killed in this whole situation, he was maybe potentially killed for molesting Mr. Prada when he was a kid. So there's a lot of speculation going on. But yeah, as you can see, just to read a little bit, a therapist who was linked to TikTok star Mr. Prada was once accused of molesting a young boy. Dr. William Nick Abrams, 69, who was found beaten to death on Sunday, had been accused of inappropriately touching an 11-year-old boy in 2015 during a counseling session. And I checked a bit of Reddit chats and that type of stuff. They're allegedly saying that the guy who was killed, he had a roommate who was a man at 67, which is a bit suspicious, but not illegal or anything like that. And then also they're saying like he has something to do with the whole Catholic religion. So we obviously know within the Catholic religion there's a lot of priests and stuff who touch young boys, but I don't want to necessarily give him accusation without verifying that. It's just a bit of speculation, but that was allegedly put out there as well. So yes, Mr. Prada, there was an actual picture released into the public looking for him because he was actually in the same car of the man he killed, apparently. Now, some people are saying that it could potentially be a situation to where he bought a stolen car and did not know the car was stolen, but that's not really adding up in my eyes anyway. You know, it looks like he could have potentially killed the man and then started driving around in his car. Maybe he was nervous. He looks like let me just be honest, the boy looks sweet. The boy looks sweet. He don't really look like he's a menace or anything like that. The boy looks sweet. He don't look like he lives a life of crime, so he could have just freaked out, done something in the moment, and was riding around. But let's actually read up a bit about this as well. A popular TikTok creator has been charged with second-degree murder in the death of a 69-year-old Louisiana therapist. Terrion Thomas, also known as Mr. Prada to his 4.3 million followers, was arrested in Dallas, Texas on Tuesday afternoon after he was allegedly seen driving a stolen car that police said belonged to William Abraham, the therapist. So guys, it's like he committed a crime and then he's in the car of the guy who we just, you know what I'm saying, unalived. So he's definitely not a criminal, you know, because no criminal is going to be that slow to be moving like that. But once again, before we go into a short breakdown of what actually went on in terms of news coverage, once again, just look at the guy accused, man. Like, I know they say don't judge a book by its cover, but it's hard not to judge a book by the cover when the cover's looking like this. This looks like a... Now, he has passed away. I have to keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? I have to keep that in mind. He has passed away, but from the cover, at least that I'm judging, I don't know him as a person. From the cover, he looks like he'll touch a boy, man. He looks like... And someone else said that he went to do the therapy thing in Louisiana because it's easy to prey on young black boys over there. So any of my guys who are from the States or Louisiana, let me know, is that something that's, you know, easy to do? Is it easy to prey on young boys, young black boys in Louisiana? Is that something that you can get away with? Because apparently people are saying that's why he set up shop over there, to prey on young black boys. But yeah, this overall is not a good situation. But let me actually get right into a news coverage of the whole Mr. Prada situation. So let's check it out, because this right here is crazy. You know, TikTok star killing someone, and I'm starting to see a little bit of a trend of that type of stuff going on, where these TikTok stars are killing people. But let's check this news coverage out really quick.
The popular TikToker Mr. Prada is behind bars in Texas tonight on that warrant out of Baton Rouge.
Right now, he's accused of wrecking the car belonging to the murdered Baton Rouge therapist Nick Abraham. Investigators say their suspect then took off from police and then somehow ended up in Dallas, Texas. Our Georgia Peck is here with some new developments. Georgia, good evening. What can you tell us?
Police in Dallas arrested Mr. Prada late yesterday. Now he's waiting on an extradition hearing to see if a judge will order him back to Baton Rouge to face charges here. This is the mugshot from the Dallas County Jail of Terrion Thomas. The 20-year-old from Louisiana has millions of followers on TikTok, where he goes by the name Mr. Prada. In one of his TikTok videos, he talked about dealing with mental issues.
I'm bipolar. Yeah. Y'all never seen anybody that's bipolar before?
Monday, police released these photos of a person of interest in the Dr. Nick Abraham homicide investigation, saying this person, believed to be the TikToker Terrion Thomas, was last seen driving the doctor's stolen car. Dr. Abraham was found dead Sunday, badly beaten and dumped alongside a highway in Tangipahoa Parish. So far, no one has been charged with his death. The charges Terrion Thomas currently faces are related to what police say happened near this office building off Sherwood Forest Boulevard in Baton Rouge Monday afternoon. That's when they claim they spotted him in the doctor's stolen car, which he crashed as he tried to get away. Police say he then got out and ran off. Dr. Abraham lived off Corporate Boulevard in Baton Rouge. Police say they still do not know where he was killed and that his home showed no signs of a crime being committed there. Abraham made headlines 9 years ago, back in 2015. Here's a clip from a newscast back then.
A Baton Rouge therapist is under investigation.
He was charged with child molestation, with police saying an 11-year-old patient claimed Abraham had touched him inappropriately during a therapy session. However, that case never went to trial. District Attorney Heller Moore says his office reviewed the case for 2 years and, quote, after considering all available evidence, the best interest of the child, and the lack of any inculpatory statements by the arrestee, we declined to institute formal charges. Defense Attorney Jarrett Ambeau represented Dr. Abraham after that arrest and said the 11-year-old who made those allegations back then was not Terrion Thomas.
So apparently they're saying there's no correlation, even though it seems really like lined up for it to be that situation. But even then, if that's not direct correlation, but it still shows that there was a potential that this man was touching kids. So this could have still been one of the kids he was touching. It might not have been the exact kid who went to the court and dealt with all that type of stuff, but it still was a kid, could potentially have been a kid that was getting touched. But like, obviously I don't want to be judging a book by its cover, but the kid, he looked like he was going through something. I'm not gonna lie, like, he looked a bit like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to be like take it there or anything like that, but he kind of looked like, you could look at him and be like, this guy, is he straight? Like, is he? And I'm not talking about sexuality. I'm just talking about, like, is he good? Like, he just look a bit like, you know, when niggas is freaking out, they start doing crazy stuff with their hair, start doing all type of shit in their face. Like, you could tell a nigga going through something. So it kind of seemed like he was going through something. But yeah, altogether, this is a pretty sad story. They say here, when was this dropped? Okay, this was dropped 3 days ago. I think they did end up charging him. Yeah, I think they did end up charging him, but here it says they didn't charge him, so I'm not too sure right now. But either way, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for his situation at all. But I want to leave it over to you guys. What do you think happened? Do you think he did end up unaliving him? And if he did, do you think he was in the right? Like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go ahead and ask, do you think he was in the right? Obviously you're never in the right for doing that. It's against the law and it's wrong. Like, you can't like just be killing people. But like, if he did get touched, do you think, maybe in the right's the wrong word, do you think like he had some sort of motive then, I guess you can say, for doing that? Like, what do you think about it? Do you feel bad for him if he was getting touched and did that? Or do you think like period. Like, you shouldn't be doing that at all, you know, because you really shouldn't. But like, what's your thoughts and opinions? Because every time in life, not everything's black and white, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, you definitely want to be following the law and not killing people. But let me know what you guys think about this. I appreciate you for checking this out. This is a crazy story, and I'm out.